E.N.D here. Humans on Innistrad don't have an easy life, and set after set after set we see their struggle to survive, but together they can manage to defeat all hardships, and in Innistrad Midnight Hunt this is perfectly represented with the COVEN mechanic. COVEN is an ability word introduced as said in Innistrad Midnight Hunt. COVEN provides an effect in spells or an ability in permanence if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers. Some COVEN abilities are triggered and some are activated. But how do you play COVEN? COVEN can be found on permanents like Sigarda, Champion of Light, the last surviving Archangel on Innistrad, or even on spells like Might of the Old Ways, which is an instant. Let's start our tutorial. Scenario 1. Let's say we have Sigarda, Champion of Light in play. Let's put there Sigarda on the battlefield. If I attack with Sigarda, COVEN doesn't trigger because at this stage I have only one creature with one power, and COVEN triggers only if I control 3 or more creatures with different power. Scenario 2. Let's say we put 2 creatures on the battlefield, Almighty Brushwhack, Expand Beast. Now, when Sigarda attacks, COVEN will trigger because I control Sigarda power 4, Almighty Brushwhack 1, Expand Beast 3. Therefore control 3 or more creatures with different powers and COVEN will trigger. Scenario 3. Let's remove Expand Beast and put Mend Servile. Mend Servile and Almighty Brushwhack has power 1. Therefore when I attack with Sigarda, COVEN will not trigger because I control 3 creatures but they don't have 3 different powers, and therefore COVEN will not trigger. Scenario 4. If during my main phase, before declaring attackers, I will modify the power of one of these creatures, let's say playing Solid Footing, Enchantment Aura, I will enchant Mend Servile. Mend Servile will get +1/+1. At this stage, it has power 2, toughness 5. Therefore, when I will attack with Sigarda, at this stage, COVEN will trigger because I control Sigarda power 4, Almighty Brushwhack power 1, and Mend Servile power 2. COVEN will trigger. Last scenario, scenario 5. If you control more than 3 creatures and you have 3 or more different powers, as said, COVEN will trigger. So if I control more than 3 creatures, let's put some creatures in play. At this stage, I control more than 3 creatures and more than 3 different powers. Therefore, when I swing with Sigarda, COVEN will trigger. But if I control more than 3 creatures, but I don't have 3 different powers, COVEN will not trigger. I hope you learned something new about this new mechanic COVEN. Leave a comment below. Are you going to play COVEN in Commander? And here's the subscribe button. Subscribe for my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.